After I gave birth, my husband's family dropped a bombshell. In our culture, the grandparents raised the firstborn. When I refused, his mother smirked, "Then you're disrespecting our ancestors." Now, my husband looked torn. But that night, I made one call. The next morning, they opened their mail and screamed when they saw what I had done. I was still in the hospital bed, barely 12 hours after delivery. When his mother, Sharon, announced it, she walked in holding a brand new car seat still in the box. "We'll take him home Thursday," she said, not asked. "I'm already off work for the next 6 months." I laughed, actually laughed. "You're joking." Her smile didn't reach her eyes. "It's tradition, sweetheart. My mother raised my firstborn for 2 years. Now it's my turn." She set the car seat down like she owned the place. I looked at my husband, Michael, waiting for him to say something. Anything. He wouldn't meet my eyes. "We can discuss it later," he mumbled, staring at his shoes. "There's nothing to discuss," I said, my voice shaking. "He's my son." Sharon's face hardened. "Our grandson, and in this family, we honor our ancestors." She leaned closer, her perfume making me nauseous. "Michael knows what's right, don't you, sweetheart?" He just stood there silent like a statue. That's when I knew he'd already agreed to this, probably weeks ago, maybe even before I went into labor. They planned this whole thing while I was picking out onesies and painting the nursery. My hands were shaking as I pressed the nurse call button. "Fine," I said quietly. "Leave now." Sharon smiled like she'd won the lottery. "We'll be back Thursday morning. The nursery at our house is already set up." She actually winked at me. "Don't worry, we'll send you pictures." I waited until they left. Waited until Michael followed them out, mumbling something about getting coffee. Then I grabbed my phone. I didn't call a family therapist. I didn't call my parents. I called my immigration attorney, the one I'd kept on retainer since Michael and I first got engaged. Because I'm not stupid. See, Sharon had overstayed her visitor visa by 11 months. I knew this because she'd literally bragged about it at Christmas dinner, laughing with her sister about how easy it was to just stay in the country. "No one checks," she'd said, raising her wine glass. "Land of the free." I had her on video saved in 3 different cloud accounts. My attorney answered on the second ring. I explained everything. The attempted kidnapping disguised as tradition, Michael's betrayal, Sharon's smugness. "Give me 2 hours," she said. It took 90 minutes. By 6:00 a.m. the next morning, while I was attempting to breastfeed and crying from exhaustion, Sharon received a certified letter at her house, a deportation notice. ICE had been notified of her visa violation, complete with video evidence and timestamps. She had 14 days to leave the country. My phone started ringing at 6:47 a.m. Michael. I let it go to voicemail. He called 6 more times. I was feeding my son, watching him make those little baby noises, and I'd never felt more at peace. Finally, I answered. "You reported my mother." He was screaming so loud I had to pull the phone away from my ear. I held my son closer, adjusting his blanket. "She tried to take mine. She's being deported because of you. Do you understand what you've done?" I smiled for the first time in days. "Actually, she's being deported because she broke federal immigration law. I just reminded the government about it." There was silence on the other end. Heavy breathing. "Funny how traditions change when consequences show up, isn't it?" I said softly. The line went dead. An hour later, Sharon called from a blocked number. I answered on speaker while the nurse checked my vitals. "You vindictive little..." I blocked her. Michael's sister, Amy, appeared in my doorway. Someone I'd met twice in 4 years. Her mascara was running and she looked like she'd been driving all night. "I saw Mom's Facebook post about Thursday," she said, walking straight to my baby. "I drove 9 hours because I couldn't let this happen again." She rolled up her sleeve without asking, showing me a circular cigarette scar. "I was that baby 30 years ago. Mom raised me until I was 3. Amy picked up my son and held him close, protective. When my real parents took me back, I screamed for Sharon every single day for 6 months. The door opened and Sharon stood there, seeing Amy holding the baby. Her face transformed into something cold and calculating. "Amy, sweetheart, put him down. You're not well enough to hold infants, remember?" Amy's grip on my son tightened. She turned to face Sharon, and for a second I thought she might actually stand up to her. But then her hands started shaking. "I'm fine, Mom. I just wanted to put him down." Sharon's voice was ice. Amy looked at me, then at the baby, then at Sharon. Her whole body was trembling now. She didn't move. The door slammed open again. Michael's father, Robert, stormed in like he owned the entire hospital. His face was red, veins bulging in his neck. "You need to reverse this right now," he said, pointing at me. "Call whoever you called and tell them it was a mistake." I shifted my son in my arms. "It's already done. Sharon's flight left an hour ago." Robert's mouth opened, closed, opened again. "What?" "She signed voluntary departure papers this morning. She's already in the air." Sharon's face went white. "You're lying." "Check your phone," I said calmly. "Your attorney probably tried to call." Sharon grabbed her phone from her purse, hands shaking. I watched her face crumble as she read the messages. You evil." "Then Amy raises him instead," Robert interrupted, his voice deadly quiet. "This family honors tradition, and you just made an enemy of all of us." I looked at Michael, who was standing in the corner like a ghost. "Michael?" He stared at the floor, said nothing. "Michael," I said again, louder. Nothing. Robert straightened his tie. "Amy will take over Sharon's role. It's already decided." He looked at his daughter, who was still holding my baby. "Amy, you're taking a leave from work, correct?" Amy nodded slowly, still looking at me. 6 months. "Perfect," Robert said. "The nursery is ready. We'll make the transition smooth." I stood up from the hospital bed, my stitches screaming in protest. "Get out, all of you, now. We'll see you at home," Robert said, already walking toward the door. He paused, looking back at Michael. "Son, are you coming?" Michael finally met my eyes. Just for a second. Then he followed his father out. Sharon lingered, holding her phone. "You'll regret this," she whispered. "You have no idea what you've started." Then she was gone too. Only Amy remained, still holding my son. "Amy," I said carefully, "I need you to give him back now." She looked down at the baby. "He's so perfect." "Amy, I won't let what happened to me happen to him," she said softly. "I promise." Something cold settled in my stomach. "What are you talking about?" She finally handed him back to me, but her eyes stayed on him the whole time. "You'll see. Someone needs to protect him properly." Then she left too. I sat back down on the bed, holding my son, and for the first time since this whole nightmare started, I felt genuinely scared. The discharge nurse came in 2 hours later with my papers. "All set to go home?" "Home. Right." Michael picked us up without saying a word. The drive was silent except for the baby making small noises in his car seat. When we pulled into our driveway, I saw Amy's car already parked there. "Michael, why is your sister here?" He turned off the engine. "She's staying with us for a while." "What?" "Just until things settle down," he said, still not looking at me. "She wants to help." I got out of the car, my body screaming with every movement. Michael got the baby. I walked into my house and found Amy unpacking boxes in the nursery. My nursery. The one I'd spent 3 months decorating. All of Sharon's stuff was there. The expensive monitor system, the rocking chair I'd never seen before, stacks of diapers and formula I didn't choose. "What is this?" I asked. Amy turned around, smiling. "Mom had it all ready to go. She'd already bought everything. Seemed wasteful to let it go to waste, you know? How did you get in?" "Michael gave me a key last week," she said, like this was completely normal. "He thought it would be good to have a backup plan, you know, just in case." I looked at Michael, who was standing in the doorway with our son. "You gave her a key? When?" "Does it matter?" he said quietly. "Yes, it actually matters a lot." Amy kept unpacking, organizing baby clothes in the dresser I'd picked out. My dresser. "I took a 6-month leave from work," she said cheerfully, "so I'll be around to help out. You must be so tired." "Amy, you need to leave." She froze, a tiny onesie in her hands. "Excuse me? I didn't ask for your help. I don't want your help. Please pack your things and go." Michael stepped forward, holding our son against his chest. "She stays." "What?" "You deported my mother," he said, his voice shaking. "You destroyed our family. Amy stays, or I leave and take him with me." The room started spinning. "You can't be serious." "Try me." Amy went back to folding clothes, humming softly. I walked out of the nursery, down the hall, into our bedroom. I grabbed my phone and called my immigration attorney. She answered on the 3rd ring. "Hey, how's the baby? I need to know if there's any way to reverse what we did." "Silent, please," I said. "I need Sharon to come back." "Why would you want that?" "Because I made a mistake. A huge mistake. Can we undo it?" My attorney sighed. She signed voluntary departure. That was her choice. And actually, she specifically wrote on the form that she doesn't wish to return to the United States. She cited humiliation and family betrayal. My knees felt weak. She wrote that? Yes. She was very specific. She wants nothing to do with her son's family anymore. Those were her exact words. "But you got exactly what you wanted," my attorney said. "Sharon is gone. She can't take your baby. What's the problem?" I looked at the closed nursery door where Amy was probably still unpacking. "I think I just made everything worse." "That's not a legal issue," she said gently. "That's a family issue." She hung up. I sat on the bed, staring at nothing. That night, Michael slept in the nursery with Amy and the baby. I slept alone in our bed, listening to them laugh softly through the walls. The next morning, I went to check our bank account. $200. Our joint account had $47,000 in it yesterday. Now it had $200. I called the bank. They told me Michael had opened a new account yesterday morning, transferred everything except $200, and removed my name from the joint account. All legal. All done. I walked into the kitchen where Michael was making coffee. "Where's our money?" He didn't turn around. "My family thinks you can't be trusted with finances after what you did. The new account is in my name only. All the bills are in my name anyway. Don't worry. I'll handle everything." "Michael, that's my money too. I worked," he corrected. "You're on maternity leave, remember? No income." Amy walked in, holding the baby. "I'm going to grab groceries today," she announced. "Make a list of anything you need. I know you're probably stressed about money and stuff." She smiled at me like she was doing me a favor. I grabbed my purse and keys. "I'm going to Target." "With what money?" Michael asked. I checked my wallet. My credit cards were gone, both of them. "Where are my cards?" "I canceled them," Michael said calmly, pouring his coffee. "The new account has new cards. I have mine. You'll have to ask me if you need something." "You can't do this." "I just did." Amy adjusted the baby in her arms. "Honestly, it's probably for the best right now. You seem really overwhelmed. Let us handle the practical stuff while you recover." I looked at my son, peaceful in her arms, and felt something break inside me. Later that day, while Michael was at work, I tried to get Amy to leave. "You need to go," I said, standing in the nursery doorway. "I'm serious. Pack your stuff." Amy was changing the baby's diaper, taking her time. "Where would I even go? Mom's gone. You made sure of that. That's not my problem." "Actually, it kind of is." She finished with the diaper and picked up my son, holding him against her shoulder. "Besides, Michael wants me here. This is his house too." "It's my house." "Is it? Is your name on the deed?" I froze. Amy smiled. "Yeah, I didn't think so. Michael bought this place before you got married. Legally, you're just living here." She walked past me, heading downstairs with the baby. I followed her. "Give him back to me. He's sleeping. You'll wake him up." "Amy, I swear to God." I reached for my son. Amy turned away, protecting him with her body. "Don't," she said quietly. I grabbed her arm. She screamed. Actually screamed, loud and shrill. "Stop it, you're hurting me." I let go immediately, but she kept screaming. The baby started crying. Then I heard it. Sirens. Amy pulled out her phone and I saw it was already on a call. Please hurry, she sobbed into it. She attacked me. I'm just trying to help with the baby, and she attacked me. 2 police officers arrived 6 minutes later. Amy was crying, holding the baby, showing them a red mark on her arm. I don't know what happened, she said. She just grabbed me. I think the hormones, postpartum stuff. I'm just trying to help. One of the officers looked at me. Ma'am, did you grab her? She had my baby. She wouldn't give him back. It's her sister-in-law's baby too, right? The officer said. She's helping out? She's not. This isn't. The other officer was writing something down. Has this happened before? Any other physical altercations? No, because this isn't an altercation. She's in my house without permission. Her brother gave her a key, the first officer said. He lives here too, correct? I couldn't breathe. They didn't arrest me, but they wrote a report. Domestic disturbance. Possible assault. No charges filed at this time. Before they left, one of them suggested I talk to someone. Postpartum is rough, he said kindly. My wife went through it. You should get help. When Michael came home, Amy showed him the police report. She attacked you? He looked at me like I was a stranger. I tried to take my own son from her. You grabbed her hard enough to leave a mark, Michael said, reading the report. Michael, she's manipulating you. Can't you see that? He folded the paper carefully. I see my wife getting violent with my sister who's just trying to help. I see my wife deporting my mother and now attacking my family. That's what I see. Amy stood behind him, the baby in her arms, and I swear she almost smiled. The next week, Michael's family started visiting constantly. His aunt would show up at 9 a.m. with breakfast. His cousin would stop by at lunch. Robert came every evening after work. They'd sit in my living room, holding my baby, talking about Sharon and how hurt she was, how this could have all been avoided. They did everything. Fed the baby, changed him, bathed him, gave him his vitamin D drops. You look exhausted, Michael's aunt said one afternoon. Why don't you go rest? We've got this. I'm fine. Are you though? She tilted her head. Sharon would be so sad to see you struggling like this. The baby was crying. Amy picked him up immediately, and he stopped. See? She said softly. He knows his auntie. My own mother visited that weekend. I thought, finally, someone on my side. She sat at the kitchen table watching Amy prep bottles. She seems very helpful. Mom, she's taking over. They all are. Honey, she reached across the table and grabbed my hand. Maybe that's not the worst thing right now. What? You're exhausted. You're stressed. You got Michael's mother deported. She tried to kidnap my baby. She wanted to help with tradition, my mother said quietly. And you responded by ruining her life. Maybe Amy being here is good. Maybe you need the support. I pulled my hand back. Are you serious right now? I'm saying maybe you overreacted, and now you're paying for it. Let people help you. She left an hour later. Before she went, she hugged Amy. Thank you for being here for her, she said. She needs you. That night, I stood in the nursery doorway watching Amy rock my son to sleep. She was singing softly, some lullaby I didn't recognize. Michael came up behind me. He really likes her. He doesn't know her. He's known her more than Sharon now, thanks to you. I turned around. When does this end, Michael? When do I get my family back? He looked at me for a long moment. You destroyed my family. Now you get to live with the consequences. Amy started taking the baby out during the day. Just to my dad's house, she'd say. Give you a break, I'd protest. She'd ignore me. Michael would back her up. Let her help, he'd say. Stop being difficult. One day she was gone for 8 hours. I called 20 times. She didn't answer. When she finally came back, the baby was asleep in his car seat, peaceful. Where were you? My aunt's house, then my dad's. Then my friend Julie wanted to see him. Don't worry, I had him the whole time. You can't just take him without asking. I did ask. Michael said it was fine. I looked at Michael, who was scrolling on his phone. You said that? You were sleeping, he said. Didn't want to wake you. I wasn't sleeping. I was in the living room, but I couldn't prove it. The next week, Amy was gone from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. She'd bring him back fed, changed, ready for bed. My mother called to check in. Amy posted the cutest pictures of the baby on Facebook today. Did you see? She's posting pictures of my son? Well, he's her nephew. It's sweet. I hung up. I started finding papers. Notes, actually. Amy had been keeping a journal. Tuesday, 3:47 p.m. Baby crying for 15 minutes before I took over. Mother seemed frustrated and distant. Thursday, 11:20 a.m. Mother struggled with breastfeeding again. Baby latched perfectly with bottle I gave him. Saturday, 2:33 p.m. Mother raised voice when I tried to help, concerning behavior. Pages and pages of this. All time-stamped, all documented. I found them in the nursery, tucked into the drawer where I kept his extra blankets. What is this? I confronted her that night. Amy didn't even look concerned. Oh, that. My therapist said I should keep track of my feelings while I'm helping you out. You know, so I don't get overwhelmed. These aren't your feelings. These are observations about me. Well, yeah, because you're what's overwhelming. She said it so sweetly, like she was complimenting my haircut. You're building a case against me. A case? Amy laughed. For what? I'm just trying to help. Why are you so paranoid? Michael walked in. What's going on? I showed him the journal. Look at this. Look what she's doing. He read a few pages. Seems like she's just being thorough, keeping track of the baby's schedule. Michael, she's documenting everything I do wrong. Maybe there's a lot to document, he said quietly. That hurt worse than anything else. 2 days later, Michael sat me down at the kitchen table. There were papers in front of him. What is this? I asked. Just read it. It was a temporary custody arrangement. Legal language I barely understood. Something about emotional instability and necessary support and best interests of the child. The bottom line, Amy would have legal authority to make medical decisions for the baby while I stabilized. You want me to sign away my rights to your sister? It's temporary, Michael said. Just until you're feeling better. I'm feeling fine. He slid another paper across the table. The police report from when I attacked Amy. That's not fine. She provoked that. Another paper. Amy's journal. This isn't fine either. Michael, my attorney said if you don't sign this voluntarily, we'll file for emergency custody. He leaned forward. We have the police report showing you're violent. We have Amy's documentation showing you're struggling. We have your own mother's testimony that you seem unstable. My mother? She called yesterday. Said she's worried about you. Said maybe Amy should have more authority for now. I felt sick. Sign it, Michael said, or we go to court and you lose everything. My hand was shaking so hard I could barely hold the pen. I signed. Michael took the papers, stood up, and walked out. That night, Amy packed a bag, a big one. Where are you going? I asked. Dad's house. Just for a few days. She picked up the baby, who was in his carrier. Don't worry, you can visit whenever you want. Wait, you can't. I can, actually. She showed me the signed papers. You gave me medical authority, remember? And right now, I think what's medically best for him is a calm, stable environment. You can come see him this weekend. Amy, please. She was already out the door. Michael was loading her car. Michael! I ran outside. You can't let her take him. She's not taking him, he said. She's caring for him. There's a difference. For how long? As long as it takes. I tried to get in front of the car. Michael grabbed my arm. Don't make this harder. I watched them drive away with my son. The house was silent. I called my mother. They took him. Who took who? Amy. She took the baby. Michael let her. Silence on the other end. Mom? Well, she said slowly. You did give her permission. Maybe it's for the best right now. I hung up. For 3 days I called Amy nonstop. She didn't answer. I drove to Robert's house. No one answered the door. I could see Amy's car in the driveway. I could hear my baby crying inside. I pounded on the door. Let me in! That's my son! A neighbor called the police. Same 2 officers from before. Ma'am, you need to calm down. They have my baby in there and won't let me see him. One officer knocked. Robert answered, looking tired. Sir, is there a baby in this residence? My grandson, yes. My daughter is watching him. And does she have permission to have the child? Robert showed them the signed custody arrangement. His mother gave her temporary custody. She's welcome to visit, but she's been very aggressive lately. We're concerned for the child's safety. The officer looked at me. Is this accurate? Did you sign this? They forced me to sign it. Did someone hold a gun to your head? No, but then you signed it voluntarily. The officer handed the papers back to Robert. Sir, does she have permission to be on your property? Not anymore, Robert said. She's disturbing the peace. I was escorted back to my car. The officer who'd been kind before looked at me sadly. Ma'am, this is your second incident involving aggression toward this family. I strongly suggest you get help before there's a third. They wrote another report. When I got home, Michael was waiting. The police called me, he said. Said you tried to break into my father's house. I was trying to see my son. By screaming and pounding on the door, that's what you thought would work? Michael, I haven't seen him in 3 days. And whose fault is that? You agreed to this arrangement. Because you threatened me. He pulled out his phone, showed me something. A text from my mother. Very worried about her. Seems unstable. Maybe Amy is best option right now. Everyone sees it except you, Michael said. You're falling apart. The best thing you can do for him is get yourself together. When do I get him back? When you're better. And who decides that? You? Amy? Your father? He didn't answer. I spent the next week trying to find a lawyer, but I had no money. The free legal aid clinic said they were booked for months. Every attorney I called wanted a retainer I couldn't afford. I sold my laptop, my iPad, some jewelry, managed to scrape together $1,500. One attorney agreed to see me. I told her everything, showed her the papers I'd signed, the police reports, Amy's journal entries I'd photographed. She listened quietly, taking notes. Okay, she said finally. I'm going to be honest with you. This is bad. Can you help me? I can try, but you signed this agreement voluntarily. There's no evidence you were coerced, and you have 2 police reports showing escalating aggressive behavior. They're lying. They're manipulating everything. I believe you, she said. But what matters is what we can prove. Right now, all the evidence shows you're unstable and they're helping. So what do I do? She leaned forward. You play the long game. You do exactly what they want. Go to therapy, take parenting classes, document everything, show you're stable and cooperative. Then, in a few months, we petition to modify the arrangement. Months? It's better than losing him permanently. I paid her the $1,500. She said she'd start working on it. 2 days later, Michael filed for divorce. The papers were delivered by a process server who knocked on the door at 8 a.m. Full custody request. Primary residence with Michael and Amy as designated caregiver. His reasoning. 2 police reports documenting my violent and unstable behavior. A signed agreement showing I recognized my inability to care for the child. Testimony from multiple family members, including my own mother, about my mental state. Amy's journal, all 47 pages of it, was attached as evidence. I called my attorney. I just got served, I said. She sighed. Me too. I got a copy. What do? We show up to court, and we hope the judge sees reason. The hearing was set for 3 weeks away. I didn't see my son once in those 3 weeks. I showed up for my supervised visitation that Saturday. Robert's house. A supervisor from the court was there, a woman named Kelly with a clipboard. Amy brought the baby down. He was bigger than I remembered. He looked at me like I was a stranger. I held him for 2 hours while Kelly took notes. He cried most of the time. Amy kept saying, "It's okay, baby," from across the room, and he'd calm down when he heard her voice. When it was over, Kelly handed me a copy of her notes. Child appears bonded with current caregiver. Minimal recognition of biological mother. Signs of distress during visit. He doesn't recognize me because they kept him from me, I said. Kelly gave me a sympathetic look. I'm just reporting what I observed. The next visitation was the same, and the one after that. Each time, Kelly's notes got worse. Child turns away from biological mother, reaches for primary caregiver, extended crying during visit. My attorney called the night before the hearing. I'm going to be straight with you, she said. This doesn't look good. What are my chances? Long pause. If the judge is sympathetic, maybe you get joint custody, unsupervised visitation. If the judge isn't, you might get what you have now, supervised visits every other weekend. That's not enough. I know, but we work with what we have. The courthouse was freezing. I wore the only nice dress I still owned, something I'd worn to a work conference 2 years ago. Michael showed up in a suit, Amy next to him in a conservative dress, holding my son. They looked like a family. I looked like someone who'd been living on $200 for 3 months. Michael's attorney was expensive. You could tell by his watch. My attorney was doing this for $1,500. The judge was a woman in her 60s, reading glasses, no expression. Michael's attorney went first. He painted a picture of an unstable woman who'd vindictively deported her mother-in-law, attacked her sister-in-law, harassed the family, and showed escalating signs of mental illness. He had the police reports, Amy's journal, Kelly's visitation notes, my mother's testimony, given over phone because she couldn't bear to see me like this. He showed pictures of Amy with the baby, both of them smiling. Time-stamped photos from the past 3 months showing routine, stability, love. Your Honor, this child has never known stability with his biological mother. Every person in his life except her has provided consistent, loving care. Miss Amy has taken leave from work to ensure this child has everything he needs. The child is thriving under her care. Then my attorney stood up. She did her best. Talked about my rights as a mother, about how I'd been manipulated into signing away custody, about how the family had isolated me and weaponized every action. But she didn't have much evidence, just my word against theirs. The judge asked me questions. Why did you report your mother-in-law to immigration? She was trying to take my baby. Was that her stated intention? She said it was tradition. She bought a car seat. She said she was taking him home. But did she actually attempt to take the child without your permission? I hesitated. No, but yes or no, please. No. The judge made a note. Why did you grab your sister-in-law? She had my baby and wouldn't give him back. Was she refusing to give the child back? Or was she in the process of caring for him? She was holding him hostage in my own house. That's not what the police report says. It says she was changing his diaper and you grabbed her arm. I didn't have an answer. The judge looked at all the papers in front of her. Amy's journal, the visitation reports, the police reports. Ms. Kelly, she said, addressing the visitation supervisor. In your professional opinion, where does this child appear to be most comfortable? Kelly stood. With Ms. Amy, Your Honor. The child shows clear attachment to her and distress when separated. And with the biological mother? The child appears to have minimal bond, signs of stranger anxiety. The judge nodded. She looked at me. Do you have stable housing? I live in the marital home, which is owned solely by your husband? Yes, but do you have income? I'm on maternity leave. Do you have access to funds? My attorney jumped in. Your Honor, the respondent has deliberately cut off the petitioner's access to marital funds. Michael's attorney countered. The funds are in my client's name only, legally separate property. The petitioner has no claim. The judge made more notes. She asked a few more questions. About therapy, about my plans, about my support system. I answered as best I could, but I could see it in her face. She'd already decided. I've reviewed all the evidence presented, she said finally. This is a difficult case involving a very young child who requires stability. She looked directly at me. While I understand the petitioner's concerns about the custody arrangement she signed, the fact remains that she signed it voluntarily. The evidence shows a pattern of escalating behavior that is concerning. The child appears to be thriving in his current arrangement. My attorney grabbed my hand under the table. Therefore, I am awarding primary custody to the respondent, Michael, with Ms. Amy as the designated primary caregiver. The petitioner will have supervised visitation every other weekend, 2 hours per visit. We will revisit this arrangement in 6 months to assess whether unsupervised visitation is appropriate. The gavel came down. I couldn't breathe. Michael's attorney was shaking his hand, congratulating him. Amy was crying, happy tears, hugging the baby close. My attorney was saying something about appeals, about documentation, about not giving up, but I wasn't hearing her. I was watching Amy kiss my son's forehead, watching her whisper something to him, watching him look at her like she was his whole world. Michael walked past me on his way out. He didn't say anything, didn't even look at me. Robert clapped him on the shoulder. Your mother would be proud, he said. Justice served. Amy stopped next to my seat. She shifted the baby to one hip. You can see him Saturday, she said softly. 2 to 4. Don't be late. She walked away, my son reaching back toward her shoulder, settling against her like he belonged there. The courtroom emptied. I sat alone in the wooden chair, staring at the judge's empty bench. My attorney packed her briefcase. We'll file a motion to modify in 6 months. Document everything. Stay clean. Stay calm. We can fix this. But her voice sounded hollow. I realized then what Sharon had meant. I'd made them my enemy, and they'd used every weapon I'd given them. The signed papers, the police reports, my own mother's testimony, my isolation, my desperation. Every single move I'd made to protect my son had been turned into proof I wasn't fit to have him. I walked out of the courthouse into the gray afternoon. Amy's car was pulling away, my son's car seat visible in the back window. I'd gotten exactly what I wanted that day in the hospital. Sharon was gone, and I'd handed them everything they needed to take her place.